Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope you like and subscribe, and thank you for watching. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you a quick way to make these baby socks or baby booties. They're so easy to make. I'd say they're ideal for beginners. You can make them for baby boys and girls, and you can make them smaller or bigger. The ones we're going to make in the tutorial are for babies between 6 and 9 months old, but you can make them from 0 to 3 months and up to 24 months. Down here in the information box, I'll go ahead and leave some information on how you can make them smaller or bigger, so be sure to check that out. Okay, let's get started, and thank you for watching. Okay, to make these baby booties, I'm going to use this 3mm crochet hook, and I'm going to use this number 3 baby yarn. You can also use DK weight yarn. Now, I'm going to make the front of the booty here in white, and then the rest I'm going to do in light blue. So here, to begin, I'm going to chain 7. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Into the third chain from the hook, 1, 2, 3, make a double crochet, but make sure that you only go through one loop, like this. Here we're going to make 4 double crochets. The 2 chains don't count here. Into the next, that's 2 double crochets, 3, and 4 double crochets. Now into this last chain here, make 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now along this side, I'm going to make 4 double crochets also. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we have these 2 chains here at the beginning. Insert your hook through the first chain right there, right in the center, and now make 4 double crochets into this stitch here. 2, 3, and 4. So for this first row, you should have 16 double crochets. We have 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. That's 16 double crochets. Now to finish, go on top of the first double crochet and join with a slip stitch. And here's the first row. Now for the second row, chain 2. The 2 chains never count as a stitch. In this row, I'm going to make 5 double crochets. So beginning on top of this first double crochet, which is the same one where we did the slip stitch, make your first double crochet. That's 1 on top of the next. That's 2, 3, 4, 5 double crochets. Now into the next 3 double crochets, I need to make a total of 7 double crochets. So what I'm going to do is into the first double crochet here out of the 3, make 2 double crochets. Into the second, which is the middle double crochet, make 3 double crochets. And now into the third, make 2 double crochets. So we just did 7 double crochets here. Now along this side, I'm going to make 5 double crochets. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now into the next 3 double crochets, which are the last 3. Into the first one, make 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. Into the next one, make 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and into the last 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. Now to finish, go on top of the first double crochet and join with a slip stitch. Now for this second row, you should have 24 double crochets. We have 5 plus 7 plus 5 plus 7, that's 24 double crochets. Now I'm going to cut my yarn I'm just going to do the front part of the bootie like this in white, and then I'm going to use the blue. Perfect. So this is going to be the right side and this is the wrong side. Now with the blue yarn here, make a loop. And insert your hook on top of the first double crochet, which is the same stitch where we did the slip stitch. Now grab a loop. This yarn here is also baby yarn number 3. You can also use DK weight yarn. Now chain 2, and in this row what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make 7 double crochets. So beginning into the same stitch here, make your first double crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 double crochets. Now into the next 3 double crochets, I'm going to make 2 double crochets on each one. That's 1 and 2, into the next 1 and 2, and into the next 1 and 2. Now along this other side, I'm going to make 9 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 double crochets. Now into the next 3 double crochets, I'm going to do 2 double crochets on each. That's 1 and 2, 1 and 2 into the next, and 1 and 2 into the next. Now I have 2 stitches left here. Make 1 double crochet on each. 1 and 1. Now for this third row, you should have 30 double crochets. We have 7 double crochets, then 6 plus 9 plus 6 plus 2, that's 30 double crochets. To finish, go on top of the first double crochet and join with a slip stitch. And here is the third row. Now for the fourth row, all we're going to do now is 2 chains, and beginning on top of this first double crochet where we did the slip stitch, you're going to make a double crochet, and on each one of the double crochets all around. We're not going to increase anymore. We're just going to continue like this for the next 4 rows, just doing the exact same thing. 1 double crochet on each one of the double crochets, and at the end of every row you're going to have 30 double crochets. That's all we're going to do. Here I'm going to finish this row to show you how you're going to finish and how to start each row from here on. Here's my last double crochet to finish. Go on top of the first double crochet and join with a slip stitch. Now from here on, to begin each row, you're going to chain 2 and into the same stitch where you did the slip stitch, make your first double crochet, and into each one of the double crochets, same thing. Continue until you have a total of 7 rows. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead and finish 2 more rows plus this one here that we started, and I'll meet you once we have a total of 7 rows to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of the 7th row. I did a total of 5 rows in blue and then 2 rows in white. I joined here to the beginning with a slip stitch. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to divide the front from the back. So this is going to be the back. This is where we've been joining for each row, and this is going to be the front. I've placed 2 stitch markers. I'm marking the center of these 30 stitches. So I have 15 for the back side and 15 for the front side. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to make these 3 slip stitches. We have 3 double crochets. So from here on we're going to begin each row right here on this corner. So insert your hook on top of the first double crochet here. Try to go through one of the loops, the front loop, instead of both if you can. If not, it's okay. And then into the next, same thing, a slip stitch and a slip stitch into the third. So make 3 slip stitches from the inside. Now for the first row here, we're going to start counting rows, chain 2 and turn. So this here is going to be the right side. Now we're going to make 15 double crochets here. So beginning on top of this first double crochet right here, here's the stitch marker, so right there on top of that, make a double crochet, and on top of each one of these double crochets you're going to make a double crochet. So that's 4, 14 and 15. 15 double crochets for this first row. Now chain 2, turn. For the second row, same thing, we're going to make 15 double crochets. So beginning on top of this last double crochet right here, this first one actually, make a double crochet and 1 double crochet on each one of these double crochets until you have 15. I have 2, 4, 5, 14 and 15 on top of the last one. 15 double crochets for this second row. Now for the third row, chain 2 and turn. Now I'm going to mark the center of these 15 double crochets, so I'm going to have 7 and then 7 and then 1 stitch in the center, just as a reference, because we're going to work some reductions here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Put a stitch marker on the 8th stitch, so you have 7 and 7 and then 1 in the center. Now here we're going to make 4 double crochets. So beginning on top of the first double crochet, make a double crochet, that's 1. On top of the next, that's 2, 3, 4 double crochets. Now into the next 6 stitches we're going to decrease. So beginning on top of the first double crochet, take 2 loops off, yarn over. On top of the next, take 2 loops off, 3 loops, close. Here's the first reduction. Now into the next 3 I'm going to work another reduction. So yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, take 2 loops off, yarn over, insert your hook where we have the stitch marker, take 2 loops off, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, and then again into the stitch after the stitch marker, take 2 loops off, 4 loops on the hook, close. And now we're going to work one more reduction. Take 2 loops off, yarn over, take 2 loops off, 3 loops, close. Now we're going to finish with these last 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. So for this third row, now you have 11 double crochets. These reductions here count as 1 double crochet. So let me count them for you. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now for the fourth row, chain 2, turn. I'm going to put a stitch marker into the center stitch as reference. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, and then 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to yarn over, and on top of each one of these 4 double crochets, I'm going to make a double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. And now into the next 3, I'm going to make a decrease again. So yarn over, insert your hook on top of the next, take 2 loops off, yarn over, insert your hook on top of the stitch where we have the stitch marker, take 2 loops off, yarn over, and into the stitch after the stitch marker, take 2 loops off, 4 loops on the hook, close. And now I'm going to finish this side with these 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So for this row we did 4 double crochets, then into the next 3 we worked a decrease. Right here, this decrease has 3 legs, and then we finished with 4 double crochets. This decrease here counts as 1 double crochet, so for this row we have 9. 4 plus 4 plus 1, that's 9 double crochets. Now for the 5th row, chain 2 and turn. Now I'm going to remove the stitch marker, we don't need it anymore. So for this 5th row, we're going to close all of these stitches. So yarn over, insert your hook on top of the first double crochet, grab a loop, take 2 loops off, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, on top of the next, same thing, take 2 loops off, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, take 2 loops off, 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, take 2 loops, 5 loops on the hook, yarn over, same thing for the next, take 2 loops off, yarn over, and I'm going to do this until I have done the same thing for each one of the double crochets. And I'm going to count my loops after I'm done here. And here's the last stitch. Let's see, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 loops on the hook, grab a loop and close. And here's the heel. Now chain 2, insert your hook right through the middle, right here, right about the center, and make a double crochet like this. Now we're going to make 1 double crochet for each one of the rows. So beginning into this last row that we did, row 5, make a double crochet into the next. These are the 2 chains, just insert your hook there and make a double crochet. So far I have 3. Into the next row, a double crochet, that's 4. Into the next row, that's 5. Into the next row, that's 6. And right here where I have this double crochet, see right here, make 1 more double crochet. So that's 7 double crochets here. See, we did 1 in the center, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 double crochets along this side, and we're going to do the same thing here on this side. Same thing, so 1 double crochet for each row plus 1 here to the side, and then 1 in the center. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work these 15 double crochets. So beginning on top of the double crochet after the stitch marker, make your first double crochet out of these 15. That's 2, 3, 14, and 15 double crochets. Perfect. Now we're going to do these 7 double crochets plus 1 more so that we finish with 15 double crochets here again. So beginning on top of this stitch after the stitch marker. I'm going to remove this here. We don't need these stitch markers anymore. So into the same stitch where we did this first double crochet for the first row, insert your hook there and make a double crochet, and then 1 double crochet for each row. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 7 double crochets, and I'm going to make the last one right here in the same space where I did the first one. Just insert your hook through there and make a double crochet. To finish, go on top of the first double crochet and join with a slip stitch. And here is the first row, and that's what it looks like. We have 15 plus 7 plus 7 plus 1 more that we did. That's a total of 30 double crochets. Now for the second row, chain 2, and beginning on top of this first double crochet, make a double crochet. In this second row, all I'm going to do are double crochets on top of each one of the double crochets. This row here is easy. All we're doing is 1 double crochet on each one of the double crochets, and at the end we're going to have 30 double crochets. Continue like this all around, and I'll meet you here at the end. Okay, I finished making this second row. I have 30 double crochets. Now to finish here, go on top of the first double crochet and join with a slip stitch. Now for the next 2 rows, we're going to make front post and back post double crochets. Now if you have difficulty making front post and back post double crochets, then you can just do the next 3 rows with just double crochet. So here, chain 1, and beginning into this first double crochet, work a front post double crochet. Next one, back post double crochet, front post double crochet, back post double crochet, and so on. This is how you're going to continue for this third row. When you finish, join here to the top of the first double crochet with a slip stitch, chain 1, and then again repeat the same row, front post and back post double crochets. I'll meet you at the end of that 4th row. Okay, I finished these 2 rows of front post and back post double crochets. Now for the last row, all we're going to do are 2 chains, and beginning on top of the first stitch where we join with a slip stitch, make a double crochet and 1 double crochet on top of each one of the double crochets from the previous row. This is all we're going to do, so continue and finish this last row, row 5, and I'll meet you at the end. I went ahead and finished the last row. Here at the end, all I did was just join to the beginning with a slip stitch, cut my yarn, and pass my yarn through that last loop, and then I went ahead and hid my ends here on the inside. So this little booty is all done. Here's the other one. Now here all around, all I did was just weave this ribbon. This is 3/16 of an inch ribbon, and then I attached these little cute buttons here. These buttons I purchased from Joann's. Now these little booties are for baby boys and girls between 6 and 9 months old, but you can easily make them smaller or bigger. I'd say from 0 to 3 months and up to 24 months. In the information box below, I'll go ahead and leave some information on how you can make them smaller or bigger, so be sure to check that out. Okay, this was today's tutorial. I hope you like it. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.